And make sure that y'all send these videos out to family members, friends. Y'all got cousins, y'all got uncles, y'all got aunties looking to get land, and they need that information. Pass that information out, share it on your Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, email, Gmail, Hotmail, AOL mail.
Hey family, welcome back to the General Family Home. If you're new here, we're everyday people, a God-fearing family, building legacy 1 acre at a time. And before we jump in, we have something special. We recently created the How to Buy Land Workbook. It walks you through the research, the planning, and things that you should keep in mind before you buy. It's printable and easy to follow. The link is right below. Today, we're talking about some of the most overlooked and misunderstood parts of buying land. These are the things that can make or break your plans, and most people don't learn about them until it's too late.
Today we're going to deep dive into 5 topics. Number 1, deed restrictions. Number 2, mineral rights. Number 3, air rights. Number 4, riparian rights. And number 5, littoral rights.
These are not small details. These are major parts of owning land, and if you do not understand them, you could end up buying land that looks perfect but does not let you do half of what you want it to do. All right, let's begin with deed restrictions.
A deed restriction is a rule written in the deed of the land. It tells you what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do.
A lot of people think rules only come from the county, but the land itself can also have its own rules. These rules can be written by the developer, the past owner, or a neighborhood association.
And here's how deed restrictions can affect you. Imagine if you buy 5 acres thinking you could put 2 houses on it, but the deed says only 1 home is allowed. That means you can't add a second home for your parents, your kids, or a rental.
Or imagine owning a farm with animals, but the deed says no livestock, no chickens, no goats, no horses.
Or you want to run a business from home, maybe a small shop, a tiny home rental, or a trucking business, but the deed says no commercial use.
Yeah.
That stops your plan before you even get started.
Some deed restrictions even control what the house must look like. They may require certain square footage, a certain style, or certain building materials. That can only make your build much more expensive.
Deed restrictions, they don't disappear. When the land is sold, they stay attached to the land until it's legally removed. And removing them is usually almost impossible.
So the best way to protect yourself is to always read the deed restrictions before buying. And if you do not understand the wording, ask someone who does.
Next, let's talk about mineral rights. This is one of the most confusing parts of buying land, but also one of the most important.
A lot of people think that when they buy land, they own everything from the surface all the way down to the soil. But the land ownership is actually divided into layers.
There's the surface, that's the dirt you walk on, the trees, the grass, the place where you build your home.
Then below the surface are the minerals and other valuable materials. Oil, gas, coal, clay.
Mineral rights decide who controls those materials.
That's right.
And the truth is, many times the person selling the land no longer owns the rights.
Yeah, or they never owned it. For example, a rancher might have owned the land 50 years ago. He might have sold the mineral rights to a company and then later sold the land itself. The land keeps being sold, but the mineral rights stay with that company.
That means you can buy land today and still not own the minerals underneath because someone else bought them before you was even born.
And here's why that matters. If you don't own the mineral rights, a company could come dig onto the land, drill, and legally you cannot stop them even if you live there.
Some states give the mineral owners more power than the surface owner. That means you can have noise, trucks, pipes, or digging all on your property.
Now, this does not happen everywhere, but it is something that you must check. Not owning mineral rights does not always ruin the deal, but you should know exactly what you are buying.
Also, if the land comes with water rights connected to minerals, in some areas, water that comes from underground drilling is controlled by the mineral owner, not the landowner.
Now let's move to air rights. This one surprises people too.
Air rights are the rights to the space above your land. It is basically the right to build upward and control what can happen above your property.
So think about big cities. Air rights can be worth millions, but even in rural areas, air rights matter more than people think.
Here's an example. If you don't own the air rights, another person or company could build something above your property line, like a walkway, a sign, or a platform, especially near commercial areas.
Yeah, and another example, you might want to add a second story on your home or build a tall workshop. But if the air rights were separated from the land before you bought it, you might not be legally able to build it higher.
Some airplane flights paths also deal with air rights. In rare cases, you could have low-flying planes and not be able to complain because the air rights were sold long ago.
And the average person looking for land has never even heard of this. But knowing about air rights helps you understand the full picture of what you own.
Now let's move to riparian rights. These deal with the land that touches moving water, like rivers, creeks, or streams.
Yeah, if your land touches moving water, and you often get certain rights to use that water. So you might be allowed to use the water for animals, small-scale farming, or simple everyday needs.
But you don't own the water, and you can't block it because the water must continue to flow to the next property. And the landowners downstream depends on it too.
And some states limit how much you can take. Others say all owners must share fairly. And some states give the government almost full control.
And riparian rights also affect building. You might not be allowed to build too close to the water because the flooding zones and erosion laws may stop you.
So some people buy land because the creek is beautiful, but then learn that they can't build a deck or a small bridge or a fire pit near the edge.
Or they learn they can't dig the creek to make it deeper because the state says the creek belongs to the public.
So if your land has a creek, you must know your riparian rights. They control what you can and can't do with that water.
All right, now let's talk about littoral rights. These deal with land near still water, like lakes, bays, or the ocean.
Littoral rights are different from riparian rights because still water comes with completely different rules.
If you own land that touches a lake, you usually have the right to access and enjoy the shore.
But ownership of the water itself is usually controlled by the state, not the landowner. And sometimes the public still has the right to pass through certain areas.
Here's an example. You might think you own the beach in front of your home. But in many states, everything below the high tide line belongs to the public.
That means people can walk along the water, even if the sand looks like it's part of your property.
Littoral rights also affect docks. You may want to build a dock, but the lake may have rules like dock length, the dock material, or no docks allowed at all.
Yeah, so some people buy lakefront land thinking they can build a boathouse, but later they found out that land does not allow anything touching the water.
So I always ask, do I have littoral rights? Can I build a dock? Where does the property line stop?
All right, so let's bring all of this together.
When buying land, you're not only buying land, you're buying a collection of rights, but those rights can be split apart.
One person may own the land, another person may own the mineral rights, another may own the air rights, and the government may control the water.
That's why the smartest land buyers look beyond the trees and the grass. They read the deed, they ask about mineral rights, air rights, riparian rights, and littoral rights.
This gives you real control, real protection, and real understanding of what you're paying for.
Because nothing hurts more than buying land that looks perfect, only to learn later that you can't build, you can't farm, you can't add a second home, you can't have animals, you can't touch the water, or you can't stop someone from digging under your property. Can't build a church. Can't call the preacher out there to lay hands.
Knowledge is key, and the more you learn, the better choices you make, and the more confident you become in your land journey.
So we hope this breakdown brought you real value today and helped you understand the parts of land ownership that most people never talk about.
And remember, these are not deal breakers. We just want you to be aware of what you're buying. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you want more land buying tips, make sure you stay connected. Make sure they hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you share it to somebody who's looking for land. And we are now on Facebook. We are now on Instagram. We are now on TikTok.
And don't forget to click that link below and get your How to Buy Land Workbook.
Yes.
Get that workbook. Let that be your first step to getting started to your journey of land ownership.
Yes.
And make sure that y'all send these videos out to family members, friends. Y'all got cousins. Y'all got uncles, y'all got aunties looking to get land, and they need that information. You know, pass that information out. Share it on your Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, email, Gmail, Hotmail, AOL mail,
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
All right, family. We'll see y'all in the next video.